steps to becoming debt-free. At Angel Advance.
No, so a few years ago in 2023, it was spotted that these Nigerians, this test center, which is located in the southwest of Nigeria, that a lot of Nigerians were passing the test at this center at a record, which raises suspicion. The test center in question is run by Unicom Technology Test Center. The test center is owned by Petsinve regulatory body in the United Kingdom. These Nigerians, they were doing very well at this center. Rumors started flowing that some people were not going to sit the exam, but they were passing the test. Guess what? As soon as the authority got wind that a lot of people were passing this test without going to actually sit for it, in fact, one or two people confessed that, yes, this is what was happening at that test center, which raised issues straight away to the authorities in the United Kingdom, who then said, look, we need to investigate this. As soon as...
Yes, they need to investigate, and we are in support of them to investigate. However, we don't want them to just turn a blind eye and to just put everybody into a bunch of baskets and treated them unfairly. The investigation must be done fairly, and there must be justice. And those who did actually use proceeds of involved in any fraudulent acts, they need to face the consequence, because the people that need to treat these people in the hospital needs to be competent. However, people have now been asked to rewrite the exam. They've written the exam and they've passed. The concern now is NMC saying they are doubting their integrity. So, CBT2, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, because I'm going to release you soon. Like I've said, we are on TikTok, we are on our YouTube as well, and we will be going on Twitter Space, which is X now, on the 29th of this month, hosted by Nigerian community in the UK, because this is the time we need to start telling the whole world what is happening and for people to get justice. A lot of families have been facing challenges. Many families, many nurses have been unfairly terminated from their workplace, and the consequences is telling on the finances of the family. Not only that, their mental health, their well-being is a matter of concern. So we will continue now to hear from people and what people are facing. Please, let's share this. Those of you on TikTok, please, if you want to contribute, send a request. If you want to contribute, send a request.
As soon as they started doing the investigation at this test center, because in order for you to come to the United Kingdom and practice as a nurse, you will have to do what they call CBT test. My brothers and sisters, these Nigerians, as you can see in front of your screen here, they have been given up to next week to leave the United Kingdom. Let me know what your views are about this story, because some people are saying that the NMC had treated these Nigerians unfairly. A lot of these Nigerians that came to the UK, they sold their belongings, uprooted everything that they had in Nigeria in order for them to come to the United Kingdom and work. These nurses, they were working in the UK. According to the report, they were working in the United Kingdom, and some of them were doing an amazing job in the United Kingdom. The problem, the government, the regulatory body in the United Kingdom realized that about 2,000 nurses from Nigeria they suspected that they were fraud in their exam that they took to run to come and work in the United Kingdom. Initially, they identified 50 nurses. These 50 nurses, out of these 50 nurses, about 12 of them admitted wholeheartedly, say, look, you know what? I am wrong. Yes, I did what you're accusing me to do. But the vast majority of Nigerians are hardworking people. The vast majority of Nigerians, they are decent, hardworking people. I say this times throughout number on this platform. It is the few bad apples that will bring the hardworking, decent Nigerians down. And it's those few bad apples that have caused trouble for the good ones. Don't forget to share this video and like, because there are valuable lessons that can be learned from the experience of these nurses who have been asked to leave the United Kingdom by next week by the United Kingdom government.
So, CBT2, tell us what is happening.
The incident started when I came into the UK, and I received the email that the new CBT Center, there was fraudulent activity there. So after the first email, I emailed them that I'm ready to rewrite it whenever they want me to do so. And I didn't hear from them for like 4 months. Then I informed my employer. My employer, then they were so supportive. And after like 4 months, I received another email that I should go and rewrite it. So I wrote it again in October 2023. And I passed it again. And I informed my employer. And they were all optimistic that at least I've passed it again in record time. So in December, I received the email that my application has been refused. And I was so shattered and devastated. And then I informed my employer, and my employer, they gave me 2 options, the NMC, that is either I start the application all over or I appeal. And at that time, when I told my employer told me to start the application again. But then the NMC, that's Nigerian Nursing and Midwifery Council, they were not doing verification. So I didn't want to leave it void. So I told them I will appeal. I'll make an appeal. Then I was waiting for the date of appeal. And then I contacted Unity and RCN. Before then, I contacted the nurses UK charitable organization. I did not receive any feedback from them. But when they had the program like that, they started sending me emails that I should come and attend the program, pay a certain amount. And I emailed them back that this is the main reason I approached you in the first place. They stopped communicating with me. But when I approached the RCA and Unity, both of them got back to me within 24 hours. And Unity agreed to support and represent me. But as the day was drawing close and I was asked to pick dates to avoid by the NMC, my representative from Unity sent me an email stating that it's only the people that agreed that they were fraudulent that were pardoned and given the pen. I now replied him that I don't know how to do that. I was not fraudulent.
Can you repeat that again?
I didn't know anybody else to turn to.
Can you repeat? What did you say? Which email did you receive from Unity?
One moment, please.
I didn't know anybody else to turn to or any other organization. So I wrote to the NMC by myself that I wanted to start all over. So they cancelled the former one, and I informed the Unity secretary at my trust. So they canceled the former one and I started all over. So my English test has expired. So I just wrote it and I passed. I wrote OET and I passed. So I'm just waiting for the last requirement to put in for my registration or for my application and pay the 153 and see how it will go. But to say this has affected me mentally is an understatement. It nearly run me off myself.
Sorry to hear about that.
Okay.
Have I got another person that I want to share the experience? What has been happening? CBT3, are you in a good place? CBT1, I know you know some of your colleagues. Are you aware of people being receiving letter from the Home Office to leave?
I just read that today. I just read that somewhere today. There is not surprising with the way the NMC, even in Nigeria, has been silent, nonchalant, and not. They have never really cared about their people, so that's not surprising in any way. And for the charity, whatever that is being reached here, to react that same way, I'm not surprised as well. If there's been a product from that same country, they can't do better because it's like it's an inbred thing. When, like who will say back home, if you've crossed the bridge, you can as well break the bridge or not care what happens to those who might be coming behind. That's the mentality, and that's the system they operate. The people in the profession, I don't think they really cared about themselves, not to talk of caring for others. All that matter to them is the dues and the taxes they need to pay. From the head to the last person, I think, except if some few, just perhaps from some challenges, learn to think differently. That's the systemic mentality, the systemic programmed mindset that works in the system. But we know, because I studied the system for more than 2 decades. So, like I said, many of my friends, what I've seen them go through, I don't wish it upon an enemy. They've been mentally battered, they've been frustrated, and it will interest you to know that all through the years that I said I was studying that NMC system, I met some friends, colleagues, people in different places who told me that while they were in school, in the science department, in the biomedical sciences department, that it is nurses who usually come first in class. So it's not a question of whether they know the subject matter or not. And I've seen many of them offering to resit the exam, whoever person view the representative of NMC would want it conducted, and they should bring as many cameras as they want on any day they choose to name and see if they will pass it again or not. But I could see that the NMC failed through their representative with person view, and they never want to admit it. So they're just blanketing people and blindfolding them and just passing on guilt to them. And that's why they're busy lobbying them to just admit they're wrong, admit they're guilty. I won't be surprised if the 12 out of the 50 that they said they originally discovered were interviewed independently, and they will tell you they just admitted that because of what they were told that they will be pardoned. I won't be surprised. Because for anybody to go through that school and come out, that person must have been somebody who is certified, competent, and many of them have been on the job and have worked at it for more than a decade before they will decide they have to sit this exam and come over here again. So for this to be happening, it is an embarrassment, it is disheartening, and I only wish God would use the good people who listen, raise people to come to their aid and redeem their image and save them the embarrassment that the nursing and midwifery council that is supposed to be their support is loading on them. It's happening. I don't wish it on an enemy. They've not done well at all. Imagine asking someone to face a panel and telling him he cannot have anybody to support him and grilling him for 12 hours. And all the same while they were doing that, 15 of them facing one single person. NMC was busy sending mails, sending messages until after a few hours, some of them will have to say, please tell NMC to stop. And none of those messages are good. They're a way of distracting them just to make sure they frustrate them and make sure they answered wrongly, or out of frustration admit that they were guilty. They were not given room to prepare. Their appeals were not considered, and all the same, they still passed judgment that they were guilty. Sometimes before 48 hours, and sometimes even before 12. It's a real shame. It's a shame. I wish people would hear it, consider it, and call NMC to order. These are human beings. These are people who have worked with them, who have served them, who have carried the banner of their organization as representatives for many years before this exam would come up. And it will interest you that it was not only that center that people sat for the exam, people passed. Person View in the papers they sent admitted that they knew that there had been issues with that center for years, but they never notified anybody until after a few years when they have concocted the reports they want to concoct and decide now they want to begin to look for scapegoats. It's an embarrassment on the NMC that sent them or gave them the assignment or contracted them, and an embarrassment of Person View itself as an organization. And that's why they are trying to cover it up by raising 15 men to face a single person and trying to railroad them into admitting that they are guilty. It's a shame. It's a shame and an embarrassment on NMC as an organization, on NMC as a representation and a representative of people who are supposed to be handlers of human life. They have not portrayed it at all. They haven't. Thank you.
Thank you very much. CBT is the exam that they normally do for them to be part of the requirement for NMC to allow them to be on the register.
By next week by the United Kingdom government. The government were looking into 50 of these nurses, and they claim that, yes, some of them said that as soon as it was reported that there are question marks about their registration, their employers the next day fired them straight away. The employer fired them. Now, this is a very, very complicated situation. We all want nurses that can do the job. When we are not well, we go to hospitals. We want to be treated by nurses that have the right skill set, nurses that know what they are doing. But at the same time, these are decent nurses who haven't committed crime are now being dragged down. Let me know what your views are about what we are talking about today. 40, these nurses are being represented by Broad Street solicitors who have gone to court to say, known as Nurse Dale, because she wants to remain anonymous. She has successfully taken the government to court and she won. And their solicitor is now saying, if out of the nurses that you said they committed fraud, one of them have challenged the decision in court and she won, why is it that your approach is not consistent? The Lunch Club we have contacted the Nursing and Midwifery Council. If anyone is watching from the Nursing and Midwifery Council, we would like to hear from you because there is a perception among people from ethnic minority who says that they've told us on several occasions that they are being unfairly treated by the NMC, that when it comes to the issues that affect black and brown people, that the NFTs, they don't believe that they get fair justice. Let me know.
CBT4, you welcome. I've just put your name as CBT4. You that just come on Zoom now. We don't want people to mention their name, but we want people to tell us what is the situation, what have they, what are they experiencing, and where are we now? A lot of people have been receiving letters from the Home Office that they need to leave the country because the employers have terminated their employment, and obviously NMC has denied them paying. However, they still have a right to go for hearing. They have a right to go for appeal. Why is everybody in hurry? Why is the employer in hurry? Why is the Home Office in hurry? CBT4, have you got something to share? CBT4, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm having severe headache. I can't even talk. I can't talk, really. I'm sorry.
So
Let
sorry.
me just join. Yeah.
Okay, are you okay? Are you okay for the conversation yesterday to be played?
Yes, you can play it. No problem.
I will check. Yeah, it's just the first one. So, yeah, let's continue with this one if I will find that. What are your take? Those of you on TikTok, thank you very much for joining. Adeyemi, Papa, how far the longest time? How are you doing? If you are a nurse, if you are affected or you know anyone that is affected and would like to share what is happening, please let us know. As we have said earlier, we need to start talking more about this. And on the 29th of this month, Nigeria community in the UK will be hosting another live. We will also be there. So if you know anybody, that will be on S, which is formerly known as Twitter. Formerly known as Twitter. So if anybody would like to share, please let us know. Let me see. If you like to share your experience, we don't know what other people are doing. We need more. We need to hear more from people.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Okay, like I was saying, I came to the UK. I sat my OSCE within 8 weeks of getting to the UK. I passed it, and that was in 2023. I came in February. I did my OSCE April 5, and I passed. And I was thinking that the next thing is for me to get my PIN. only for NMC to pump my pin. They didn't even respond to me. Those of us that went for the exam with night, some had issues, they didn't pass up. Yes, sir.
I would like to stop this for now.